So then we get into we have a witness come on the stand named Richard Alivor. I thought it was Alivor. Was it Alivor or Aligor? But Richard Alivor is on the stand now, and he worked at Hertz. This is the thing about, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if y'all all live in Atlanta or if y'all live all over the country, all over the world. The Atlanta airport is the busiest airport in the world. The Atlanta airport also has probably the busiest rental facility in the world. Pretty much all the major rental companies are at this one. They have like a central rental center, right? They brought this man in to talk about a customer he dealt with 9 years ago. Do you know how many customers he probably dealt with just that day alone? They brought him in and asked him, did he know what Jeffrey Williams looked like? Did he know his name? Did he know him from anything? I'm just like, do y'all know how busy that rental car center is? At any one given time, you can go in and see 20, 30, 40 people in line at Hertz at one time. Like I'm talking about within an hour, you could see that. Like if a plane from New York or LA comes here, you can see 50 people in line at Hertz. That's all throughout the day. So they brought this man in, and then he's like, they asked him questions about Jeffrey Williams. He's like, I don't know who that is. They're like, do you remember doing an interview and somebody showing you a picture of him? He's like, I don't know. I couldn't. He said, I can't even identify him in this courtroom. I don't know who he is. I don't know who you're asking me about. I don't have any information about him. I don't remember nothing about renting his car out to this person. This is a standard rental thing. On top of what makes it even worse is that the DA at the time, back in those times, didn't even come to question him until a year and a half after the incident happened. So even when they came to question him back in summertime 2016, he was like, I don't know who these people are. My coworker told me who Young Thug was. By the way, he was a Ghanaian immigrant. So he really didn't know who Young Thug was. He don't know nothing about nothing. And they brought him in to testify, wasting everybody's time. This man didn't know nothing, and he said it like 20 times. So I don't know if they just setting up Attorney Brown, the prosecutor. Are they setting him up and just giving him all the worst witnesses that he can't get real answers out of? Because why was that man on the stand? So let's get past Alivor. The next day on Thursday, they have a man named Ira Singleton, right? Shout out to another super chat from Kedrick. And he said, none of this makes sense, bro. I think we need to stop trying to make it make sense. The state gonna drive us crazy. That's a fact. It doesn't make sense. But let's move on to Ira Singleton, who testified on Thursday. Now, Ira Singleton was like a GM. He was high level at Hertz in this area. He was a GM. And back at the time when the murder happened, he was the director of operations. Once again, I don't know why he would be called to testify about this, because he doesn't have any personal knowledge of anything related to what's going on, mainly because he was so high up at the company. There would be many layers between him and a customer service rep that would have helped whoever rented that car that day, right? So calling like the top person would be like, it just don't even make sense. It makes no sense at all. But the state is doing stuff that the state does. So they called this man to testify. They asked him to break down pretty much a report that was given to the police by Hertz corporate office, or Hertz corporate security. They gave him a report showing that, yes, Young Thug rented these cars. He rented a Stingray on January 2nd, 2015. He returned it on January 7th. Same day, he took a Q50, Infiniti Q50, a gray one with a sunroof, as they said many times. And then he held that until January 11th, when he returned it at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So they brought him in to pretty much explain what we were seeing on the report, right? And it really wasn't any information except for the fact that it was a gray car. It did have a sunroof, right? It doesn't. So I was live tweeting, and I was just like, shout out to the state for establishing that Thug did have a gray car, and the car that Thug had did have a sunroof. And I said, now I need for them to help us understand how this new 2014 at that time, a new Infiniti, morphed itself into an old Bonneville. That was the part that I was waiting for them to make the connection, because the witnesses said it was an old Bonneville that did the shooting. So I was just like, when is like the Harry Potter magic trick gonna happen, when they're gonna say like Hertz actually rents out cars that morph into old cars? You see what I'm saying? And they never got to that. You know what I'm saying? They never really explained to us how the Q50 that they have based this whole thing on turned into a Pontiac. They don't have a witness that said, they don't have a single witness that said that an Infiniti did a shooting. You understand what I'm saying? But they have multiple witnesses saying an old car did the shooting, a Bonneville. So very, very odd. I do think that we do need to check, because the song, we need to look at this clip, right? So Keith Adams is cross-examining Ira Singleton, and he's asking him, like, do you know who Jeffrey Williams is? And he's like, no. He's like, you ever met Jeffrey Williams? Thanks for the super chat from, what is that, Shayshell? Shayshell, how you pronounce it? Shay, give me the enunciation in the comments, but thank you for that. And again, y'all, I'm going to get back to the comments once I run through this. And shout out to y'all for helping me hit a new all-time high in concurrent viewers at 135. My previous high was 130. Shout out to y'all. So Keith Adams asked him, do you know who Jeffrey Williams is? He's like, no, I don't. He's like, you ever met Jeffrey Williams? He's like, no, I haven't. So they're starting to move forward. He's like, wait, can I say something real quick? This is Ira Singleton. Can I say something real quick? Actually, I didn't know who he was, but I didn't know that name. I didn't know Jeffrey Williams' name. I knew his performer name. He's like, oh, so you knew Young Thug. He's like, yeah, I knew him as Young Thug. And then he goes on to tell us and to tell the world, which we all agree with, that Lifestyle, the song Lifestyle, was a banger. Let's look at the clip. Let's roll the tape, guys. Let's roll the tape.
Back in 2015, did you know Jeffrey Williams?
No.
Did you ever met him?
Personally?
Yeah.
No. Wait, hold on. Can I go back?
Sure.
I know who the rap name is. I didn't know Jeffrey Williams, though, no. By that name. I knew Young Thug, yes.
Okay. When you say you knew who that person, who that entity was?
Yes.
You never met him personally?
No. Okay. Lifestyle had just dropped. Everybody knew that song.
So,
Banger.
Banger.
And you liked it, right? Which one?
So Attorney Brown tried to object to it. The judge said, nah, that is relevant. I'm overruling that objection because the song is indeed a banger. And it does need to be on the record that Lifestyle is a banger. Okay? So now let's move forward, because that was so those Hertz rental car employees or former employees, neither one of them helped the state. I'm not even sure. I don't know what they was getting at, because maybe they just wanted to show the jury, like, hey guys, his name is on the joint. Like, all of us as people who probably was into rap at that time, we know that Young Thug was kind of he was known, very well known in 2015. Had Young Thug walked into a rental car center himself to pick up a rental car, it would cause like a little baby lightweight frenzy, especially because, like I said, at that time, Lifestyle was out. He was super hot at that time. So if Young Thug was in the airport at that time getting a rental car, it would be pictures, videos, all type of stuff, because he was a star at that time, especially in the city of Atlanta. He was big. So somebody else went into that rental car place and got rental cars under his name. Another thing that the state, for whatever reason, I don't understand why the state Attorney Brown kept on asking, they kept asking these Hertz employees or former employees, hey, can you go into there and get a car with somebody else's license or anything like that? And even Ira Singleton said, hey, I don't know how to answer that. This is Atlanta. That happens all the time.
Can anyone just simply walk up and take a vehicle without having to go through any security checkpoint, simply because the keys are in the car and the rental contract is in the car?
That would be called theft.
But could they, based on the security checkpoints you described earlier, just come up and take a car and leave?
I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay.
This is Atlanta. It happened all the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a fact. Like, Brown, you are messing up your own argument, because people get cars in other people's names all the time. Like, this is the scam capital. I don't know if y'all know, the people that's out of town or whatever. I don't know if y'all know this. Atlanta is the scam capital, probably of the world, because all the best scammers from around the world, like the American scammers, the African scammers, the Asian scammers, the Latino American, the Latin world, all of they scam. Everybody comes here and just does they scams. You understand what I'm saying? The Eastern European, like you got Russian scammers down here. All of the scammers. This is like where it's like all-star weekend of the scammers all the time. That's what Atlanta is. And I don't know if y'all know that. So yeah, he keep on asking them, and they like, I don't know how to even answer that. Like, yes, people come and get cars they're not supposed to have. What are you talking about? We got another super chat. I appreciate this. Who was that? Najee Sunflower. Shout out to you. Love to hear your POVs. Proud to see your growth. Thank you. I appreciate that good super chat right there. Y'all are pushing the all-time high to even higher heights.